The final boss right here in the FSL What If Open, the grand finals is what we're going to be having today. We're going to be shoutcasters for today. My name is Dash and I'm here with Infinity, and game one is going to come in just a bit, and we're excited on what these teams are going to be putting out on the table for us right here in game one.
Yeah, and it's something that we all are looking forward into the grand final. City Dogs has been on a win streak for quite some time now, and they are dominating FSL Water Rift Open.
Yeah,
and now a contester has arisen. Can they defeat the ongoing undefeated champion here at FSL?
Yeah, that's going to be the question. That's how this story is going to be developing, because it's going to be a way different story than how it was before during the lower bracket finals, because all of them are gunning towards City Dogs, because most of them have been put down there by City Dogs. And now Peekachu back here for revenge, back here for vengeance. Are they going to be able to catch it? Are they going to be the masters of their own right, or is City Dogs going to be able to keep their throne still the queens of FSL?
Yeah, and I'm excited when it comes to the draft, when it comes to in-game strats. Like, these questions come into mind because so far from what we've seen from Peekachu, they have the capacity on mastering Ari in the Rift, Nami. These are really strong picks. And a while ago, pre-game or pre-start of the series, is that we were talking about how City Dogs will be banning away these champions away from Peekachu, because these are really important. Because what we've seen throughout the lower bracket finals is that if you have an advantage when it comes to the draft, you innately have the advantage in game already that could win you through a single game.
Yeah, you can push through pretty easily when you have the advantage when it comes to the draft. It would be easy to get onto your goal, onto what you want. So now, during this first series that we're going to be having for today, I hope that they would be ready on what they have. Their assignments, their homework has been done. But let us go to the drafting.
Here we go. This is it. This is it, Dash. This is it. Game 1 draft between City Dogs and Peekachu. City Dogs on the blue side and Peekachu on the red side. They ban away Jace and Corki immediately to start this thing off, and then Olaf to follow through. City Dogs is banning away these high prio red pick champions, because from what we've observed in the past is that if you're on red side, you can immediately pick up the Corki and the Jace simultaneously, or another priority pick. And removing these champions away is really clever from the side of City Dogs.
Look at the respect here. Look at Jace, Karma getting banned. They don't want this utility support. Zed is available. Akali is available for City Dogs. I know that they're not going to be picking that up really fast right now. There's still a lot of priorities. Yone could potentially be the first pick here for City Dogs.
Lucian is also open for City Dogs to pick up. Aatrox is also open. There are a lot of picks that is open for City Dogs, but instead Lilia going to be the priority. And I think this is a really good start for them for game 1.
Yeah, and if it's Peekachu we're talking about here, and Nami is available, they can just pick up the Nami for themselves, which leaves City Dogs with a lot of options too, if ever that's going to be happening. And as you said, Lucian Nami could potentially be the pick here for Peekachu.
Yeah, and there are a lot of options as well that they could pick up. Akali has shown great strength for Peekachu in the last game, in the last series for game 3. That could be an option, but Fiora will be locked in. A great duelist for Peekachu.
Yeah, you know what?
Secured.
Most of the time, the reason why they picked the Fiora is because nobody could fight the Fiora on a 1v1 if the Camille is banned. It's going to be way easier. But the Fiora Yone, that's good. That's right. That is a composition that I can live with. Because Peekachu could just make sure that they get to the late game, let the Fiora be the menace, and City Dogs answers back with the Garen. Not the best pick, but the Garen on her own right, I think Garen is good. At least not in a sense that you can 1v1 a Fiora, but in a sense in where you can just execute these members from Peekachu.
Yeah, and the thing is, both the picks of Peekachu is really flexible for now. Fiora can go top, can go jungle. Yone can go top, jungle, mid. They could pivot themselves into a lot of different ways on this draft so far. And as for City Dogs, this is already instated that Lilia would be on the jungle. Garen could still go mid or top depending on the situation, but this is something that is interesting, but they lock in onto Kha'Zix, which changes everything.
Kha'Zix and a Fiora Yone, that's strong. Super strong. And that's what you want to do. Get the early game. Don't let the Fiora and Yone decelerate their power spikes. And that is exactly what the Kha'Zix does. And I hope that they would be able to pull this off, because this early game is definitely in their hands.
Yeah. And now
Lilia
I'm
and Kha'Zix,
thinking,
though. What do you think?
I'm thinking, like, where would this Lilia go? Where would the Kha'Zix
I think
go?
it's in the
Because
mid
both
lane.
these definitely could be that option, because both these champions are standardly on jungle.
Yeah. I believe in the mid lane, because I saw Rogi playing the Lilia in the mid lane. She plays that a lot. So I hope that this would be the mid lane, because this would be an interesting story, Infinity. Because that was the greatest flex, or maybe the greatest bait that we've seen so far in this game, or rather in the whole of this game, because this draft is interesting. They pick the Lilia up, then go for the Kha'Zix. What are they gonna do? What are they thinking? I think that's what in the minds of Peekachu are.
Yeah, and I love the respect that Pikachu is giving towards Gia. Banning away to Senna, banning away to Nami. These two picks have been known to be a comfortable pick for the support of City Dogs for the past seasons. And banning it away is a really, really good thing. Now, City Dogs ban away Ari and Ziggs. These are huge respects as well onto Minuet for Pikachu, as it has been these two damage picks for Pikachu that has been dominating the back end and has been obliterating those engages away from the prior series.
Ash and Nautilus would be a good pick here for City Dogs. Yes, they won't have those same wave clear like what the Lux could have, but they would need that extra bump, because that's a lot of damage already from inside of City Dogs. They need something to just help them out when it comes to the CC department on the side of City Dogs, because that's what they're lacking here in their composition.
We'll see though. We're still waiting for that.
But there you go.
What they can do, as Ash will be locked in as the bottom laner. So this is, or expectedly, a utility duo.
Nasus,
as
that's
Ash
perfect.
Nasus. Definitely.
Wow. Ash
the thing
Nasus? Yeah.
Because the thing is, they already have damage for Lilia and Kha'Zix going into the same lineup, one of which could go into the mid lane, right? So Ash and Nasus would provide those long-range engages, and Nasus will provide a really strong armor shredder for the team.
Yeah. And as I said, Rogi rocking that Lilia in the mid lane. If it's against the Lux, it would be way better, because the Lilia has a lot more opportunities to just run around the map. And this is just... City Dogs built their composition towards what Pikachu wants. And it's a good thing they had this last pick for Pikachu, that they went for the Gragas, because if they didn't have the Gragas, they won't have any way to stop this City Dogs from rampaging. Because remember, the Enchanted Crystal Arrow, everybody's just gonna go in.
Yeah, definitely. And especially considering that City Dogs has 4 melee champions: Nasus, Lilia, Kha'Zix, Garen. If you have Gragas in the same composition, one explosive cast could really disembark how City Dogs wants to play a clash.
Yeah.
A 5v5. They're going to be confused, they're going to be disassembled, and that is what Pikachu wants.
Yeah. Very smart for Pikachu to pick that up. But City Dogs, this first 3 picks was nailing the coffin for them. I hope that this is going to be effective for their side. But Pikachu, the underdogs of the story, they have something to prove here. They have the Fiora, they have the Yone. A lot of skill is needed for most of these champions that they have right now. And it all comes down to how they execute it. It's a good composition, not gonna lie. But City Dogs, their composition was really built towards how they are going to be playing around those first 2 picks. Fiora and Yone are going to be executed pretty fast, but the Gragas, it all comes down to how Aya plays this for the team.
Yeah, so eyes on the prize. We'll see how this would turn out for both these teams. This is game 1. And the thing was, we have never seen City Dogs play so far in FSL Wild Rift Open 2023. That's the first time that we're seeing their game hands-on, on-screen, on stream.
Yeah, first time we're seeing them on the live stream. And City Dogs, they are the strongest team that we've seen so far. And this is the reason why it's really scary how Pikachu is going to approach this. Yes, they're the underdogs, but they're no slacks either, because they know how to play around this. And again, with what we're seeing from Pikachu, they again swapped out Aya and Minuet from mid lane to bot lane. So this is going to be... It all comes down to how they play this. They're just going to be way clear here in the bot lane.
Yeah, because Rogi's not gonna have the best time as a Lilia up against a matchup with a Lucian that
Yeah,
can pretty
not
much just
easy.
range normal attack, put out skills onto the specific champion. And I think that's the standard wherein a melee versus long range matchup is unfavorable for the melee champ.
Yeah, that's true. Because it's gonna be hard for the Lily. I mean, she has tons of range too, which is okay, but it's not enough to fight against a Lucian at the early game. Lucian in the early game is just a headache to deal with because you're fighting against a lot of skill and also a lot of damage. And I hope that they would be able to get this in the early stages because Pikachu, with those CCs that they have, they could potentially have a fighting chance in the first objective.
Right now, they're going in. Look at the bottom side dash. This might be a clash.
Okay. Yeah, they might go for the fight. They are already fighting though. They don't have the slows, they don't have the CCs yet, no enchanted crystal arrows, but they have the body slam to work with. They're slowing it down with Rogi in front of the pack. But nobody's gonna be continuing because they don't have kill potentials on both sides.
For sure, we're still out of range from that level 5 potential that Pikachu has in their pocket, and even City Dogs as well. So when it comes to fight, when it comes to engagements, this is still really risky for both sides.
Yeah. And they all just fight against each other just for them to get that wrist cutler. That's a big win. Think about it. It's not going to be easy to go for a gank in the bot lane, even if they're massively shoving it in front of the members of Pikachu. But that's just the micro side of things. But City Dogs, what they want is not to have a stalemate. They want to take control of this game as fast as they could, as long as they get the level 5. Try to start the fight maybe at the bottom side of the map, because that is also the time in where Ken and No Longer Human would have the CC needed in order for them to follow through against a Gragas bot lane.
Yeah, for sure. So right now we're waiting for that opportunity. If it reaches 3 minutes, level 5 will happen. Ultimates are going to be ready. You have Ash with a long range engage. We can follow up as well. So anything can happen at this point. We have to look at how Ken will use the enchanted crystal arrow at this point in time. Now Pikachu will be able to maneuver around the map.
Yeah. Can be easy. The calling is being used in order to force Rogi back. One piercing light might be the end here in the mid lane. That's why Rogi is playing it back, playing it safely. Just try to clear the waves. Try to get every slack, every leftovers left in the mid lane. Because honestly, this is a hard lane.
Yeah. Aya could shove. If she shoves it, Lilia will lose a wave. And that's really, really good for her. And now she's going to have more advantage. Not that she has already lost. She already has 600 gold lead up against Lilia in the same lane. So it's really, really difficult for Rogi right now to be able to manage the mid lane for now. But at this point, level 5, level 6 already secured. And that is what you want with composition that City Dogs has. It's all about that team fight. And it's all about how they're able to win the 5v5 matches.
Yeah, it's really hard to win this 5v5 matches that we have right now, but the Fate Seal is not going to be hitting right here on OZ on the top side. That's going to be the Demosh Injustice with Ignite, but it's not enough to potentially get the kill. First blood comes to Pikachu.
Yeah, I was a bit skeptical to that because Fate Sealed missed, the knock-up missed, and Garen has the Demosh Injustice, but thankfully the sustainability of a Fiora is quite significant to be able to sustain that through. So they were able to kill down Garen, get the first blood, and that is a lot of injection of gold to Yone.
Yeah. Good kill to Yone. Solar Charge Blade. This is the item that you want. I mean, it's not really the strongest item that you could get. I mean, 2 items for Yone to pump up the damage that you expect from a Yone. But it's still good. It's still good getting that early advantage, enabling, accelerating a bit of this gold lead for the side of Pikachu. That's nice for them. But because City Dogs right now, 5 seconds on the clock, the objective's gonna come in.
Yeah, and the thing about that is that if you're locking onto a Solar Charge Blade, you have that extra crit rate, you have that extra burst of damage, and a variability when it comes to damage category, because Solar Charge Blade gives you a bit of AP damage towards the enemy team, so that's good when it comes to an opposing matchup against City Dogs. So for now though, Rift Herald will be the priority by Pikachu, which gives them a lot more prio in the game.
Yeah, they're prioritizing this onto the top side. might want to go for a trade here, and they're not. They just want to try and take this. They're taking the dragon already. They're going for the fight. Enchanted Crystal Arrow. They don't have the Demolition Justice on the right target. Stasis has been used, and Ken was forced to back away. They don't have enough damage just yet. Look at this. Fate Seal. Ken is going to pull down Soul Unbound, but the ultimate from Lilting Lullaby Rogi is just going to be ending a lot of this lives from their team, and that's it. That is why this Lilia is good, because that is what she does, and that's 4K for the side of City Dogs.
And this is what we talked about a while ago, Dash, that Lilia's power isn't going to be a 1v1 matchup in the mid lane up against Aya. It will be those team fights, and that Lilith Lullaby was perfect from Rogi.
Didn't expect it. They didn't expect that that's gonna happen to them at that point, because honestly, when that started, it all comes down to how they used the Fate Shield, how they got to the back line. But Peekachu lost a bit of that space that they need. When the Lilton Lullaby from Rogi got 3, it was enough to get the kill, but now Odie, again, they need to target here, top side. Don't have the flashes yet. They have the CC. They're not gonna be continuing.
I love it. Press Q, run away. Run.
Yeah.
That's an easy out for Odie and the top lane. And now Pichu has information that City Dogs is just around the corner. Ken is there as well. And it's now the time for Ken and No Longer Human to just roam around the map, find those kills, and just be present throughout this game.
Yeah, they're just going to be taking this early game right now, and it's really smart of them to just hold it down. Don't let them get any kills because they're very aggressive composition. Just let them fight it out. And Peekachu is not also letting up. Even with that 1k gold lead, not really that significant at this point. So City Dogs is just gonna be playing this out. They want to get an Enchanted Crystal Arrow and Minuet, and that's the right timing. But Enchanted Crystal Arrow is in the bot lane already. It's not going to be hitting. Lifting Lullaby, bot side. Still have the Leander's Anguish. That's going to be hitting, and that's not going to be the timing they have expected. But burning on the head, Aya almost dying with 1 tick.
So close, yet so far. The Leandrus was almost able to secure that kill. For now, will not be able to push through though. Aya will come home back safe, and the confidence of Rogi is off the roof.
Top charts. Really just hard for them to be confident when it comes to this fight, because honestly, they have a lot to lose. They have a lot of not targeted actually. They have a lot of skill shots. That's why they are the ones who can make mistakes, and City Dogs are just waiting for them to make those mistakes because most of their skills are very committal. So Peekachu needs to be very accurate on how they pinpoint the members of City Dogs.
Yeah, and I just want to talk about on how Lilia's KDA 202 has brought her power on par up against Aya, even probably more, because of the items that she was able to build, the gold that she was able to accumulate. Now she's able to match up against Lucian, which Aya's dead.
Aya's dead. Not even able to fight against them. That's just an easy fight, just such an easy kill. And how is this working? Like, how? It's not supposed to work, but because it's Rogi holding onto this Lilia, it was not expected from them. This is going to be a mid Lilia, and Lilia has a lot of wave clear. And that's what's scary about this.
Yeah, that's why they were able to go in for Odie on a Garen and a Ken, Ashe, and a No Longer Human Nasus in a bot lane, because of this Lilia mid lane, right? And Kaz is going into the jungle. They have sufficient damage so they could afford to go for more on utility bot lane and a sponge top lane.
A lot of damage had been pumped out. Rift Herald is going to be up in a bit, and City Dogs has this opportunity of taking this objective again, because it's a bit late for Peekachu to rotate around the 2k gold lead. Look at Peekachu. They're licking their wounds. The damage that has been done already. They're just finding scraps all over the map, trying to take some towers. But if they lose this top lane tower together with the mid lane turret, because this Rift Herald is going to be taking that down, that's big value for City Dogs.
Then and Ken looking for Aya, overextending.
They're still not going to be able to get it. Jones at the top side, really strong even back in the days. And City Dogs are just unrelenting They're not giving any space. Look at how they put Vision, Infinity. They're not letting them get any space, get any close to the objective, because they know in the early game that Yone is not going to be doing anything against them.
Yeah. And with the items that Rogi was able to build, Enchanted Crystal Arrow connects!
Crystal Arrow would be able to hit them for Claria. Not going to be an exciting kill because this is going to be an easy one for Rogi. That's enough damage, and that's going to be the kill.
Stasis.
The flash in. Stasis has been used, but is that enough time? Midwit is going to be the target, and she's going to fall down in spite of helping out Claria.
Actually, more worked. That's a mid laner killed by City Dogs, wherein they were only attempting to kill the support. So overall, Peekachu was able, or well, City Dogs was able to get a huge value out of that. Yone.
Slows coming in. Fate Seal was able to hit onto Ken, and that is going to be it. That's Ignite ticking on the head of that. Yone is going to fall down, and this is the Grand Challenge onto OG. That might be the kill, though. The slow comes in. Grand Challenge has been popped. Have some healing, but it's a 3v1. Not a good fight to be in. The launch is available in order for them to run away. Enchanted Crystal Arrow to slow them down. The flashes happen, and the slows from Ken is enough to get them, net them 2 more kills in their belt. And that's a big win from them. Double kill on Rogi. 3-2.
Yeah, it's just so much long-range engagement, so much utility that City Dogs was able to attain with this specific draft. It's crazy to think about because of the Enchanted Crystal Arrow. You also have Lilia with the Lilith Lullaby. You also have the quote-unquote bowling ball that we have termed on Lilia's skill. And there's just so much utility. You also have Nasus with a lot of armor shred. You also have slow. So it's really difficult for Peekachu if they are not in sync with what they want to play and what they want to do. It's going to be a City Dog win.
Yeah, made everything better. City Dogs. With composition, they've been making it work so far. And I like it. I like to see it. Now OD, again, going to be the target. Has been putting a lot of pressure on these people. And they have the Soul Unbound onto the right target. Flash has been used. They have the Little Lullaby onto the Fate Seal right here on front of them. And that's going to be the kill already. And they don't even need to commit into anything. That's already a kill with just enough damage. Rogi just running around. Just being the distraction that they need here on this fight. The damage coming out. And look at this onto the backside. Then might fall down here. Light Binding is going to be coming out. Not going to be hitting on the right time. And that's enough to get the kill onto the tank. And Minuit is also going to fall suit together with them. They're chasing them down. And Rogi is just a menace. She's very fast and she's dealing so much damage against Peekachu.
And yeah, with them being able to win that team fight, they start the Baron Nashor, and this could be easy, this could be fast. They have Ashe, they have Nasus, they have a lot of these damage champions, and City Dogs is on a streak.
Nobody died on City Dogs. And that's just how they play, how they move around the damage with the Baron. 13 minutes in the game. That's a big statement from this team. It takes a long time for other teams to commit to a Baron, but they don't. They just call the Baron, take it, we got the advantage, we don't need to hesitate. That's how City Dogs has been quite a juggernaut in the FSL.
Yeah, and they have the 5k gold lead right now, 13 minutes into the game, and Nasus and Ashe is on the point that they could just dominate regardless of being a utility champion. Mana Mune, Triforce already for Ashe. You have Nasus building into the win.
Oh, Crystal Arrow slows down. Not gonna be committing into any fights. Ken has Enchanted Crystal Arrow and basically a 30-second cooldown, really fast. So they can just use that anytime they want and force a rotation from Peekachu. Yeah. And that's exactly what's happening. They have the Baron, they won't care.
Yeah. And Nasus has Fimbulwinter and also the Rylai's. So a lot of these utilities exponentially increase for City Dogs. Peekachu is now on a deficit, as on a disadvantage. They have the Tower Hug. They have to bring the Baron Nashor.
Rylai's Crystal Scepter is up. They can just wait clear here. And City Dogs has been always strong with that. Peekachu is going to be committing. Fate Seals is available. They're going to be running around. Not enough damage to actually get the kill. Then was able to run away with a sliver of health. And now the top lane turret has fallen down. And now Enchanted Crystal Arrow on the Claria. They don't have an explosive cast anymore. Backline, the Little Thing Lullaby on the tree. Are they going to be finishing that? Yes, they are. But they're not going to follow suit. That Flash and Ignite is going to be killing Ken right here in front of them. And that is too aggressive, but still, they got 2 towers.
Yeah, still worth it. They got the Baron Nashor. They utilized it very well. Get 2 inhib turrets. The only one left standing is the bottom lane. And at that, they're really, really clever. They could reset because the Infernal Drake is coming up in 15 seconds and Ken is nowhere to be found. So they have to have full HP. They have to buy some items that they could fight up against Peekachu.
Yeah, inhibitor turret is not gonna be up in like 6 more minutes. It takes a long time for it to respawn, and they have some time to finish this game if ever they want to, because now the Infernal Drake is up and they took 3 Drakes against Peekachu. That's a lot of stats all together given to them so that they can just take this bottom lane turret. They use the final spark in order for them to get vision, but nobody is there to actually execute this then.
Yeah, and they're now respecting the amount of damage that Lilia or Rogi is providing, building up into Wit's End for Aya.
Actually, the amount of damage that Rogi has been given, I want to see the damage graph later on because that's a lot. She's been spacing pretty well. She's using her swing every time so well that she doesn't commit into anything. Glaria again gonna be the target. They have the stasis coming time again. Aya is just gonna fall without any answer, not even using the lilting lullaby in order for them to be able to execute that face seal onto the back line. Would be able to get onto Ken, and it's not enough to actually get any kill. Den is gonna fall, and Ken survives an ignite taking on the head of this Yone. And this might be the last stand of Peekachu. This is going to be the end. They got the slow into Minuet. They are wanting to end this game as fast as they could. Flashes are down for Peekachu. They can't do anything else except to wait clear. They have the Baron up again, and City Dogs is just going to play it safe and go for the Baron.
Yeah, and right now, Peekachu, they don't have any inhib turrets left. Baron Nashor is alive. City Dogs can reset, wait for Den, then go for the objective.
Yeah, Ken gonna be the target. They don't have the Fate Seal. They might have the slow. Enchanted Crystal Arrow has been committed in order for them to survive. And Baron is up. And they need to get some vision here. Glaria is at the ready, is on the mission in order for them to get the vision before they start. Because Den is not alive yet.
However, no wards yet. No wards still for the Baron Pit. There's no information for Peekachu. And right now, Glaria in danger.
Glaria not gonna start anything yet. They want to be sure before they commit to the Baron. They don't have any wards here, Infinity.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a hard fight for the members of Peekachu. They don't know if they give this Baron, this is gonna be the end of the game. They don't have any inhibitors, and they don't have a lot of wave clear. It's not a good fight to be in. They might be a bit too late. They have the knockback. Soul Unbound is available. They have
opportunity
shield if ever they need to. They're gonna be coming in. They might be able to steal the steal. They would. Stolen the Baron Asher, but at what cost? They lost Fate Seal. They lost the Yone, but at least they would be able to buy some time here.
Could definitely be. City Dogs does not have the Baron, and with the Baron buff towards side of Peekachu, they're now able to have a better minions than the opposing team. They could even level playing field and just delay up until City Dogs is able to clear through it.
And this is the problem. The City Dog's gonna let them just clear these waves because even with the Baron infused minions, they still have empowered minions too. Siege minions are way stronger than they have. And Peekachu, look at this. They're struggling quite a bit. Look at the wave clear. It's not happening, Infinity. City Dogs is gonna be struggling here. And this is what Peekachu wanted all along. Steal the Baron, buy some time. And it's working in their favor.
And it's crazy to think about, but they still have that opportunity. 6k gold lead only for City Dogs. They have 3 dragons in their pocket. And that is something that you have to be fearful for. But Peekachu, the inhibs are now coming up in 50 seconds. Delayed. The super minions will be gone on top lane and mid lane in the foreseeable future. And that will be the hope, the cling for hope for Peekachu to win this game 1.
Buying themselves some time. I like that Peekachu knows how to play around this disadvantage that they have. And CT Dogs has been, wow, very strong so far. And this is just
Crystal Arrow.
Them playing around the map. Enchanted Crystal Arrow not going to be hitting. Lilting Lullaby is going to be used. They have the shields to work with, but they force a lot of flashes from them already. That's too. Glaria and Aya not having any flashes in this Elder Dragon fight. That could signal City Dogs to just target them. And these ultimates are going to go on cooldown.
Yeah, we'll see. Yone is back up. Smite is ready. Fate's Yield is ready. Then it might be starting the Elder Drake immediately though. So Peekachu needs this information, needs to be able to contest this, because if they get this, this game's over.
Yeah, remember the Baron's up. Elder Drake's being taken by them themselves. And Peekachu, no vision. 0 vision, and they're going to be starting the fight. Enchanted Crystal Arrow again in the mid lane has been used. Glaria Going to be very important in this last fight because that explosive cast is going to give value to the team. But now that they have the Elder Drake, almost trying to take the seal. Fate to the back line. Ken going to be the target right
Elder
here.
Drake.
Oh, Soul Unbound almost taking the kill, but they have the Elder Drake right now. They are going to be taking the kill. Aya has been exploded down middle, and it's going to be the next on the chopping block. Rogi is just a monster with this Lilia. Triple kill on the deer. And the last one standing forward on the top side. Not going to be able to do anything against the Garen. And Peekachu lost the first game. City Dogs gets game 1.
What an amazing showing from City Dogs. The best team here in FSL has shown greatness in game number 1. They're really, really strong. Untraditional mid laner with a Lilia, but they made it work. It is practice. It is comfortable for Rogi. And she's the MVP. And I'm curious about the damage that Rogi has provided for the team.
Yeah, I expect that she has the strongest damage because the Leandris is just enough to just put the damage up there. Yeah, like what I'm saying. The Leandris from damage from Rogi, she's the one who's actually just putting the team in her shoulders. She's super strong during this game. But even with the utilities from Ken and No Longer Human, she was able to get close. And that is also a point to note because the enchanted crystal arrows from Ken, No Longer Human just being the human body shield of Rogi whenever a fight happens, and the target acquisition of this team is just so good. They know who to target, burst that one down, and we go to the next. And that's what Rogi did during the last parts of the fight. That is such insane micro skill right there.
For sure. And the amount of utility that this specific draft has innately is off the charts. Off the charts,
Yeah.
rather. You have Lilia with the sleep, Ken with the arrow, No Longer Human with the slow, and also the armor shred. It's crazy when it's stacked up on top of each other. And now Pikachu would have a bit of a trouble when it comes to the draft into the next game because you have a lot to choose from. If you ban away the Lilia, if you ban away the Nasus, you're gonna leave one thing or another. The Karma, the Nami, these picks are still high prio for City Dogs overall.
What are you going to be leaving out? Because if you're going to be leaving out something for Rogi, she had the Akali, she had the option of going for Zed a while ago. The Jace has been banned, which is great. But the Akali Zed is also... This is a problem with those people who have big champion pools.
Yeah.
You don't have a lot of ban slots for this types of people unless you actually focus your on them. This is really hard to think about too, because also you also have Gia to think about. Her champion pool is really wide, and she's such a good support. And it's really hard to pinpoint who to ban, who to focus. But at least if you focus one, they're going to be forced in an awkward spot. That's the best of both worlds, basically, for the members of Peekachu.
Yeah, and the thing is, we saw a while ago the bans, Senna being banned away, but they still have the Ashe Nasus. If you ban away the Nasus, they could pivot themselves into another perspective. They ban away Karma, there's still Nautilus, there's still Nami, there's still Rakan. They ban away Rakan and Nami, they still have Nasus. And there's a lot of pivot that City Dogs has. And as you mentioned a while ago, the amount of champions that these players have because of the knowledge and experience that they have in competitive play is just too much.
Yeah, it's too massive. That's why right now we're going to be taking a look at that in Game 2. We are just going to be taking a short break, everybody. My name is Dash, and I'm here with Infinity. See you guys in just a bit.
Hello and welcome back, everyone, to the FSL Wild Rift Open Grand Finals for Game 2. City Dogs is now on a lead with a 1-0 up against Peekachu. My name is Infinity, and together with me is Dash, and we're going to be your shoutcasters for the Grand Finals. And Dash, it's going to be a good Grand Finals that we have.
Yeah, it's been great. It's been great. Game 1 has been a great showing from City Dogs, showing everybody how strong they are as a team and how great their communication is. And also Rogi just going in a rampage, basically the MVP of that game for the side of City Dogs. And you know, it's a Lilia pick in the mid lane, and she was able to pull it off. Very unorthodox right here.
Yeah, and shout out to the prod of FSL. They mentioned having like a 41% damage of Rogi on her team from that game number 1. So expect a lot of things from the mid laner of this team. It's crazy to think about, especially with the Lilia mid laner, which is untraditional and unforeseen here in League of Legends.
Honestly, she's just too good. She's just too good at playing, and also has a massive champion pool. And even pulling off those types of picks is just something that Pikachu needs to respect for this next one. Because right now on this next game, what are they going to be banning? They're going to be banning a lot of these champions that Rogi has been picking. And again, it's going to be way different for this next game.
We'll see if that will be the target ban and strategy of Pikachu. But this time around, we're jumping into the draft for Game 2 of the Grand Finals.
Yeah, Game 2, going for the draft. The Garen has been banned already. Because that Garen has been a headache too, because whenever he gets to low HP, because of the damage from Lilia, a Demolition Justice is at the ready every time.
And now, with Pikachu now going to the blue side, this changes things up. Because there will be a different priority right now for City Dogs. There will be a different priority now for Pikachu as well. So, the thing is, what will Pikachu prioritize? Is this time going to be a Lilia prio to remove it for City Dogs? And what will be the response of City Dogs in the end?
Are they going to be having the response on the right time here? Because if they're going to be a bit too late on those bans, have priority on the Lilia, which is okay if Pikachu picks them up themselves. But there you go, City Dogs knows that and banned it by their own.
Yeah, and they're doing a double bluff here. You know what? We're gonna ban away the Lilia. You're on blue side because we have something else prepared. Choose something else, and we have a counter to it.
Yeah. The Chase is also banned. They always don't want the Chase coming to the side of City Dogs. They have a lot of players who can use the Chase. Karma getting picked first.
I love
have
the
that
first
priority
pick.
again. Yeah, they have that. Lucian is available too for City Dogs if ever they would need it for themselves. But if ever they're going to be prioritizing something, that's most of the champions of Rogi here.
Yeah.
But that could be left on the second rotation.
For sure. Lucian, Nami, Aatrox. A lot of these
Olaf.
champions are still open. Olaf as well. Wukong are still options for City Dogs to pick up. They have 2 picks immediately. Now that on the red side, but Olaf will be prioritized by CD.
Yeah, and the Lucian is also going to be prioritized here because they would need that. A while ago, Aya has been strong with the Lucian, and having that by themselves, they have some flexibility in where they want to put it.
And they lock this through a very strong jungle and a very strong bottom laner, already scared by City Dogs. And Pikachu could pivot themselves into having a counter with a Jarvan 4, but at this point in time, are you going to pick a Jarvan 4 up against a team that knows how to play with it or fighting against it? So that's really the question that we have in mind right now. And Pikachu's gonna lock in onto the area instead to be followed by something that is still up there. Who's
Back
it
in the
gonna
day,
be?
yeah, Jarvan is strong, but now Jarvan is not really that good right now in the game. But right now, Pikachu is going back to the roots. They're going for the power that they had, which is comfortability. They want to be comfortable. They want the Fiora. A while ago, it was effective, but now they got picked off by picking the Ari. They know that they're not going to be picking something else and force their hand, making them sure that this Nami is not going to get picked by Pikachu now.
Yeah, and I love the Nami pick here by City Dogs because knowingly, Gia, one of the most decorated, if not the most decorated player in FSL, is one of her priority picks. Nami, Gaio, Nasus, these are picks that Gia knows like a back of her hands, and picking it up is a really comfortable time for now her ADC. Now going into the bans though, Kha'Zix and Yone removed alongside with a Xin Zhao.
There's not a lot of opportunities here for Pikachu to go for a jungler. I mean, there's a lot of junglers that they can use, but against an Olaf, there's not a lot to fight against it. The Kha'Zix was supposed to be it, but what option do they have? They have a Lee Sin that they can use in order for them to just match the wave clear of an Olaf in the early stages of the game. And yeah, I was about to say the Aatrox too, but this has been picked by City Dogs.
I love the picks here for now by City Dogs. All prio picks. Olaf, Lucian, Nami, Aatrox. And the reason why I also like how Olaf has been picked is because they don't want to give it to Pikachu. Because they have Karma already, right? So if it's an Olaf Karma, it's going to be a hard time for City Dogs. And they're always going for these counters. They know how to play it right. And they have these mind games already set. Now Pikachu answers with a Saya though on their fourth pick.
Interesting. That forced their hand, Infinity. If this was not an Olaf pick, they could have picked a Karma Nautilus, a Karma Nasus. That's also great. If ever they would need CC for the team here, because honestly, it's a Lucian Nami. The Karma Nasus, the Karma Nautilus would be good in just sustaining the lane for themselves. But because they picked the Olaf, Saya has been forced. And they needed some extra damage on that early stage. And more damage means that this is going to be the Olaf just getting bursted down. But they adjusted because of the Olaf, and that's a big threat for the side of Pikachu.
Yeah, and that's a huge problem as well. Saya is known to be one of the immobile champions, and why I say that is because the only thing that can keep her alive is Featherstorm. And Featherstorm is her ultimate, thus having a long cooldown. So once again,
Ariana?
when it comes to a 1v1, Lucian Saya is not gonna have the greatest time of her life for Pikachu.
Been a long time since I saw an Oriana in Wild Rift. I mean, if this was League PC, back in the days, Ari and Oriana is a classic matchup in the mid lane. Always going to be in favor of the Ari in the early game. Then the late game, the Oriana comes in. But this matchup is good. This just shows how confident Rogi is in her skills in the mid lane, because even if it is an early game counter, as long as she has the shockwave, as long as everybody's together, this AoEs from this team is gonna be enough to shut down this mobile champions from Pikachu.
Yeah, for sure. And on top of that, you have Wukong on the opposite end. You have Nami and Oriana to cancel through the Cyclone and disengage. And that is really important to think about. And when it comes to a 5v5, it's going to be bloodshed over bloodshed for game 2.
Yeah, it's going to be a bloodbath in this game 2, because this game 2 is just all over the draft. The draft is great. I love to see Pikachu just going back to the roots and also playing champions that has a lot of damage. That is, so far, has been the key in order for them to win a lot of these games during this whole lower bracket run. And also, this might be their shining moment, because if ever they prove themselves to win with this composition, City Dogs, they need to double think on what they can do in game 3.
Yeah, and now, since before the game starts, I want you to paint me a picture, Dash. What can we expect? Early, late game, what will be the standing here for both these teams?
Honestly, early game, I really believe that City Dogs has the bigger advantage here, because even with the Shockwave not having any damage, the Shockwave could potentially be a threat that they always need to pivot around whenever they position. So that's why this could be used by Rogi in order for them to get positional advantage. But Pikachu, they need a lot of resources. That's always a problem with me. Whenever they pick champions that have a lot of resources, Pikachu always proves me wrong, which is great though. But I hope that works on City Dogs.
Alright, City Dogs, eyes on Rogi. Pikachu needs a lot of gold right now though. 2v1. OD uses up the flash immediately. Go back to safety. That is a huge trade that Pikachu has got.
Huge win. And now Aya is going to be getting the brink of the wrath of City Dogs after losing the flash on the top side. They're forcing Xayah to not do anything, to not get any resources in this bottom lane. And that's a good measure for City Dogs.
And they're slow pushing the Ignite. Is there already to reduce the healing?
Oh wow, look at how G is playing.
Definitely quite aggressive there. And Clark just came here into the bottom lane. And she's already down half HP.
She just came in and she doesn't have any HP anymore. The way Ken uses this piercing light against the members of Pikachu, bot lane is gonna have a hard time, because remember, Xayah doesn't have any damage, and the only way Xayah could be strong is if they're fighting against a lot of melee champions, because Blade Caller would be much more effective. But if you're fighting against a Lucian Nami in the bot lane, you're not gonna have the best time.
Yeah, and just look at that. Claria is forced to reset immediately, not even affording to buy her second item. Saya wanted to go back, but she can't because Ken, and no longer human, was fast pushing the wave. It was a waste of gold and XP if she resets. So there's a lot of pressure building up in the Dragon lane.
Yeah, it's not gonna be easy for them to start any fights in the Dragon lane. And this top lane is also a battle of wits. Fiora, always a good counter to Aatrox. Basically, Yone Gwen is also good, but the Fiora is for good measure, because this Pikachu with the Fiora is good. Honestly, they're really good at playing the Fiora and playing around it, so this is a comfort pick for the team.
Yeah, Pikachu doesn't have any information on the bot side when it comes to the bush. Ken will get the Rift Scuttler though, so a lot of gold being injected onto Ken for now, having a 300 gold lead up against the opposing side, Aya.
Not enough damage at this point. Even City Dogs. Respect that they have from both sides. I like this. They're not letting. They're unrelenting. They want to get the early game really fast because remember, Olaf is basically has a timer. If the Olaf doesn't get ahead, it would be very bad for City Dogs.
Yeah. We'll see though. She's just waiting around the corner. But talking about the jungle here, Dash, what can we picture out of a Wukong versus Olaf matchup? What are their strengths in this game?
Olaf is strong. Olaf is going to be dominating this Wukong every time they go for a 2v1, 2v2. Olaf is just going to be way stronger, especially in the early game. The only reason why they picked the Wukong is they don't have any CC in the composition, and they needed something to at least have CC. The only CC that they could have, which is the Cyclone. Very easy to pull off, very easy to do, and maybe combo the Charm together with it.
Yeah, for sure. And also the Karma to exponentially increase and support Wukong to dive into those team fights and to dive into those 5v5s. So something that we can expect later on is the Wukong, how the Cyclone would work around for her team, because so far the City Dogs who has the advantage and has the prio in the bottom lane, and building into the mid game, Can would be so much of a threat, especially building into a Mana Mune to go for late game.
Yeah. The Man Mune from Ken is just going to make it easier for them to just stack it up. Especially for this first objective that they have, they would be needing all of the mana that they could have because, you know, Lucian is very mana heavy. So you need to make sure... Wait, I thought they're going to be going for the fight there. But because they're very patient here in the bot lane, this might be a trap that is being let out by Peekachu.
Wukong is here. If Zarya goes for the route, this is the opportunity. Tidal Wave though cancels the engage. That cancels the fight, and that is a 1-for-1 trade still by the supports.
First blood. First blood. Coming into Peekachu. I like that. I like that they started aggressively even without their jungler. It was enough to leave off the pressure that they're feeling a while ago, and getting that first kill was pretty important because having this first kill might be able to increase the possibility that this lane is not dead. This lane is possible to win against. Now 5 seconds at the clock, they're gonna be forced, but at least it's not a bad advantage, or at least not a bad state compared to how it was when they didn't get the first blood.
For sure, they have to get that initially in that fight, and now City Dogs goes in for the traditional type of setup. Here comes the first objective comes up, the duel comes to mid so that a faster response could be made. Right now, no. Let's see if what will happen here. Ocean Drake, Rift are alive.
Yeah. You can start this Drake. You can go for a trade. They want to go for a fight. This might be bad for City Dogs. Because they are not together. Have the tidal wave, as he said. They can start it off. They have some flashes to work with if they want to get the Cyclone out of the way. They have the Shockwave. Look at this. They're getting close. They have the Ragnarok onto the back line. Charm is not going to hit, and that's going to be good. The tidal wave to the Shockwave. Perfect combo onto the side, but it's not enough. Their damage is not there, and that is the turnaround that Peekachu was waiting for, and that is it. Then it's being chased, and that's a 4K. For the side of Peekachu.
The perfect timing of Peekachu went and turned things around. Got the Drake, got the kills. Now they have a lot of gold in their favor. 2k gold to be more specific. Now City Dogs has to respect it.
Yeah. Not the right targets. When they started the fight, they had a lot of targets in their minds. Even with the tidal wave to the shockwave, they weren't able to follow through with the damage. Super low HP on the members of Peekachu. And they lost a big objective at the first minute where we expected that they're actually going to win.
Yeah, and this is the first time that we've seen this happen. The mistake has occurred. So far, this is a good state for Peekachu to be able to scale and snowball towards the mid-game, late-game. And now Dash, what can we do given the fact that they have the lead now towards the side of Peekachu? They have the objective, they have the gold. What do they need to do next to punish City Dogs and put this to an even level playing field when it comes to the series?
Yeah, they don't need a lot of items on the side of City Dogs, which is why I'm saying that the only reason why this is going to be hard is because they need Rogi to get that Archangel staff. back up there, if they get that to a Seraph's Embrace, it would be a very good start. And most of them have a lot of this mana items, which takes a long time to actually get this. But top side though.
Odie, World Ender. Now forcing out the knockups. The flash is there, but a perfect repulse cancels down the knockup from Odie. But in the end, it's a follow-up from Ken that finished Fiora in the top lane.
Yeah, top lane, great kill. They have it, and the Fiora is going to go down, and they want to take the tower. They want to lick their one's infinity. They have lost that first fight, and that's why they just need to go away from this big fights.
Definitely. Right now, scary situation for both sides. This is the power of both these teams. This is the two best teams that remain in FSL Wild Rift Open. And something of a trivia for everyone that is currently watching. If you're new, Orianna, the reason why she needs the Seraph's Embrace is because she's a mana extensive champion. And
Very mana heavy.
if you don't have the Seraph's Embrace, if you don't have the Tear of the Goddess, she's not gonna last long.
Yeah. That's why it takes a long time for the Fiora to be effective, right, Infinity? Because
Yeah.
the Fiora, I mean the
Orianna.
Orianna to be effective, because it takes a long time for the Seraph's Embrace to happen, and you build the damage after the fact that you build the Seraph's Embrace. So that's why it takes a long time. Now, mid lane, might be going for a fight.
Now they're going for the fight. Cyclone here. Two-man knockup is there. Aatrox is stuck in the middle. World Ender's Force. Tidal Wave is there to disengage.
almost.
But Aatrox is already dead. Now
Backline
Olaf comes
Cyclone.
through to the response. But there is
Shockwave!
no team made. The Shockwave will find them all. Olaf in the front line will get the triple. And they turn things around. City Dogs is now on the lead.
3-man Shockwave onto the back line. They weren't expecting that to happen. Supposedly, this fight should be won by Peekachu, but City Dogs, as we said, they're unrelenting. They're the champions. They're not gonna give it to anybody. They are just as strong and as powerful as they could be, even with this Orianna in the mid lane, Rogi showing her skills off, and now they have the lead.
And the best team that touched FSL over the years, consistent champions in this tournament, in this league, could possibly be the best female team in the world. And right now, they're showing their powers in the grand finals for FSL Wild Rift Open, the very first one in 2023.
That's a GG. City Dogs. 1.5k gold lead is still not done. Still pretty early to say a lot of things. But with how things are starting here for City Dogs, Luden's Echo has already been built, and this is what I'm saying. Rogi needs to get that first item, and now she has her basically quote-unquote first damage item, which is the Luden's Echo. And
Yeah.
this is when it starts. Pikachu needs to think about that whenever they fight, because this Shockwave is scary. When that 3-man Shockwave happens again, they need to think about it, because every time, that's going to be a big threat on how they position around the map.
Yeah, and that's the big question, right? If you have the Shockwave readily available for City Dogs, what is the opportunity or what is the strategy for Pikachu to win on those team fights?
Not a lot though. After the Shockwave, they want to go for a start of the fight here. But Repels is up Infinity. They might go and pivot their way down.
Wukong!
Cyclone gonna come in.
Will not
Never mind.
pursue that for now. Just waiting to put out a lot of these utilities for City Dogs. Ragnar is open. Shockwave is available. This can be a deadly combo once again. If Pikachu forces out this fight, they're going for the Rift Herald,
Ragnar's
and City
far.
Dogs will secure
Wait,
it.
what?
Tidal Wave onto Claria, and the support will be punished,
Defend
immobilized.
Embrace.
But once again, Ken is stuck in the middle.
Nobody
Forced out a
died.
flash to go back away. Nobody died, as you've mentioned. But the Rift Herald secured by City Dogs.
And bot lane is gonna fall down if ever they were not gonna go here. This is a wave, a massive wave that they need to think about. And they lost 2 objectives. That is City Dogs coming back from a deficit a while ago. They knew how to play around it. They just got both of the objectives, like how Pikachu did it during the first objectives of the game. City Dogs are just giving them double of what happened a while ago in a 3k gold lead at that.
That was so close. I thought, oh, he's going for the engage with the World Ender up, but instead a recall occurs. Building up to the Maw. Oh, Maw Mortius, considering that there is a lot of AP on the opposite end, negating a lot of
That's
these
true.
damage later on. So I like this. The adaptability of this team, they're building onto some defensive items, considering that they already have the lead. They need a bit of defensive capacity.
Kind of scary though. Ken moving forward. That's
Minute.
a mark of confidence, Charm!
Charm with a Spirit Rush. Tidal Wave though to disengage. A quick response coming in from Gia. Now they will not secure that kill, and Dan's positioning is flawless. If they can go for an all-in, Dan's going in for the flank on the backside. Ragnarok with a flash, going through. Featherstorm is now forced. Klarya using it the flash to go back away, and now Wukong is pinned down. Not be a kill. There's no kill as of yet. This is crazy.
Look at the positioning right there. Just from how Den played that, it was scary. They forced all of their flashes. Aya was forced to use the Featherstorm because they knew that their damage is massive. And that is how City Dogs played before. And until now, even with the deficit a while ago, they don't even care of what's gonna happen because 2 items is when they power up. They have Ken, they have Rogi to deal damage, and that's exactly what they are holding on to whenever this fight's happen.
Yeah. Right now though, Baron Nashor is alive. Everyone needs to coordinate. Everyone needs to be in sync. Best foot forward in this game. 13 minutes into the matchup. You know it. Going for the charm. Will connect! Charm! And Rogi is gone! And now City Dogs wants to get that trade, wants to get the response. Forcing out the Ragnarok from Den. Will not pursue. And this is Peekachu having the advantage now.
Minuet, really scared with the Airy. And you know that she's strong because she has the Rabadon's Death Cup already. One charm could potentially end one person at this point. So they need to be very scared about their positioning because Ken, Gia, and Rogi are just great targets for an Airy at this point.
Yeah. And that kill alone brought back Peekachu in an even level playing field up against City Dogs. Pretty dangerous spot for Minuet though. Doesn't have any Spirit Rush. It has the charm. Rift Herald being spawned.
Oh, wow.
And pressure in.
Got the hit. Great. Slowly but surely, they got 3 towers already, and not what you expect from this team, but they are still doing it their own right. They know that this is just going to be a slow game. Just keep the momentum going. But what's scary about this is the longer the game goes, the lesser the effectivity of an Olaf becomes. Now right here, bot lane, grand challenge.
1v1, World Ender being popped. OD's just maneuvering so that the points will not be hit.
Not gonna be... What?
Grand challenge will not be procced. A good maneuver for OD. Good footwork. Right now, Dan forcing out the Ragnarok, going in onto Aya. Featherstorm is now used. So Aya will go away unscathed, but the ultimate is gone.
Still alive, Aya. Great use of the Featherstorm there. And I thought Dan is going to be committing in order for them to get some kills, but the flash is still available for Aya. That's why it's a good call that City Dogs didn't commit there.
For sure. 15 minutes now. Is there any expectations that we can picture here, Dash? As this is slowly building up for both these teams. Only 1k gold lead for City Dogs.
Gonna be starting in Klarya though.
Oh, the face check is not something that you want. The exhaust is already forced, along with a flash. Gets the kill onto Klarya. Baron Nashor is alive. This can be the pivot of City Dogs.
Yeah. They can take the Baron. Nobody's gonna be committing here. Nobody has any vision at this part of the map. And whenever they try to go for a contest here, they're gonna be discovered. But right now, look at the positioning of Peekachu. They want to try and contest this.
Wukong's there. Aya's there as well. Ken uses up the culling immediately. Charm will not connect. City Dogs is just playing around. Ragnarok with a flash comes through in the front lines, but Olaf is receiving a lot of damage. And now the GA is going to be popped, and a 3-man cyclone is perfect from Wukong. Tidal wave.
What a tidal wave!
Counter engage, and now Wukong is 1 HP. That will be a kill for City Dogs, and OD in front lines as well, receiving a lot of these damage. Ken forcing out a stasis enchant, buys a bit of time. And now Peekachu is in danger. No jungler available for this team. No longer human. Playing around. This will end that fight, but a Mountain Dragon is up and available for City Dogs to get.
Yeah, that's gonna be taken pretty easily, but City Dogs, the way they play this, they are just giving Peekachu options. What are you gonna do? Are you gonna be fighting us? Are you gonna be trying to take or steal the Baron? They gave them options, and they chose one. It's to steal this objective. The Baron is important to them. And they tried to go for it, but they got the kill on the Wukong and Sen, and because of that, it all came down to them just taking the Mountain Lake by themselves. A good trade again for City Dogs.
Yeah, for sure. Right now, having a 4K gold lead, 3K gold lead rather. Really, really big for City Dogs at the moment.
Nice steal.
And they still got the Rift Scuttle.
What was that? That Aqua Prison was perfect.
We're
But
just
again-
talking about the five championship title player. Oh, that's a
Yeah.
mouthful. Gia, if they win this, it's going to be her 6th title in FSL. Being considered
Yeah.
one of the most decorated and one of the best players in League of Legends Squadron.
She's just such a strong force. And basically, as you said, the most decorated player in the FSL. Gia is such a strong force that they need to be reckoned with. And they want to force a fight in the mid lane. Look at this. City Dogs are now being forced to react in the mid lane.
Ragnarok is ready, going to be popped. Immediate Feather Storm reaction by Aya. Claria is knocked up though, and now
Slow
Aya
down,
is
tidal
followed through
wave.
as well. This is going to be a really hard time for Peekachu. OD forces out the World Ender. Knockup will not connect. Fiora is still safe.
Thought they're going to be continuing with the fight there, but City Dogs, Infinity, they're starting the Baron again. They need to start this right now. They have low HP on a lot of the members of Peekachu, and Aya is not alive. No damage whatsoever. They're going to be cut to half if ever they try to steal this.
Yeah, and now Odie trying her best. Going to zone away the enemy team. Knock up on
World Ender!
Claria.
Oh.
Now, Karma is dead. Followed up by Fiora. And now this is a huge advantage for City Dogs.
World enters the Darkened Blade in order for them to get the reset right there. Now they started. This is what they go for. This is why City Dogs is strong. This is why they are the strongest right now. It's because this is how they make their decisions. Go for the objectives. Try to take a fight because they can. Their composition was built for it.
For sure, and now they're looking to end this. Inhib turret in the mid lane is gone. Aya is there to defend. They still have 3 members rather for Peekachu to be able to sustain the lane. But City Dogs is pressuring in.
The
Ken is
damage,
going
what?
in, and Ari is gone. The raw damage from Lucian at this point is too much. And now they're looking
Cyclone.
at the Nexus. If they win this, they're on match point. And City Dogs will punish
They're ending it.
as they're looking for the last game.
Game, set, match, point. For the members of City Dogs, what is this? Such a strong team. City Dogs is such a strong team. They have been always the best. This is the reason why they haven't lost a single game in the upper brackets. 2-0 without. They made some mistakes, yes, but it's okay. They still come back from it. That is the most important thing that you need on a team. Whenever you make a mistake, you find a way to get that back. And they always did. They always forced Peekachu to make a choice. And Peekachu always chose something that would get them on a bigger disadvantage.
Yeah, and Gia, the MVP from City Dogs. Like, when is the last time that we've seen a support getting that MVP title in a game? Plus, if we've seen the crowd control score, I think League of Legends has it, but Wild Rift doesn't. But if it has one, I think Rogi and No Longer Human will be on top of the list.
Yeah. Look at that. Look at that. Yeah, that's it, Infinity. 50.
Oh,
That-
there you go.
50.
Thank you very much, Prod.
That's a lot, though. That's a lot. I mean, the Cyclone is easier to land, but the tidal waves from Nami, from Gia, it's just so good. She's just so good at making sure that everybody is at a great spot and would be able to just stay for long in those fights. The tidal waves to the aqua prisons and even to the shock waves have been great combos so far. And we haven't seen Oriana for so long, but Rogi was able to pull it off again on this game.
And something that exceeds my expectation and just blows my mind overall is these 2 games, we did not have the same draft, not champions for City Dogs.
Yeah.
Completely different.
Yeah.
And I don't know what to expect for game 3.
Different identity. That's how they play around. This is how big their champion pool is. This is because they can play around any composition you put in their face. It's okay. They can play that. It's a very different identity, very different objective, key objectives, key goals whenever they start. And that's still how strong they are. And that's how they don't get stagnant. because they're not as linear as other teams that we've seen so far.
Yeah, and that's pretty much the match point already for City Dogs. One game away for another championship title. And this last game would be, well, potential last game would be such a crucial game for Peekachu. We'll see if they can make it back. I'm Infinity and this is Dash. We're going to take a short break. And when we come back, it is match point for City Dogs.
And yes, welcome back everybody to Game 3 of the FSL Wild Rift Open. And where again you're going to be shoutcasters for today. My name is Dash and I am here with Infinity. And this is going to be a very fun game. Game 3, 2-0 match point for the side right here of City Dogs. And now Peekachu, they need to go for the underdog story if they still want to win here, Infinity.
Yeah, could still be a reverse sweep. I'm not jinxing it. Maybe a caster's curse a bit. I don't know, but regardless, it's now a 0-2 as mentioned. So I'm really excited. This is a best of 5, one game away for getting the championship title once again. From something that we've talked about prior to this game is that if City Dogs win this will be the 6th title of Gia / no longer human in FSL.
Yeah, and also they have won last time on Open 5. So this is the start of the streak for this squad right now, City Dogs. And again, this is just great to see. They are just a strong team and they have shown it to us during Game 1 and Game 2. Now, Game 3, are they going to be giving the chance to Peekachu or are they going to be ending this all in this next game? Because Game 3, they have a lot of ways. They can make errors. It's okay because they still have a lot of wins in order for Peekachu to turn things around. But before that, let's go to the draft.
And here we go. It's City Dogs Peekachu. Game number 3. Corky and Camille banned away by City Dogs and Karma and Jace banned away by Peekachu. We've seen this happen a while ago already in the same bans exactly by City Dogs on the blue side. So if Peekachu doesn't ban Lilia, it could still be locked in by City Dogs once again.
If they would be able to do that on the next one though, because with the bans coming out, they don't want the Olaf to come out during this bans because they are really afraid if ever that comes in. Yone's possibility here, and Illusion could also get picked by City Dogs.
And I love it. They ban away the Lilia, which means that City Dogs cannot prio pick this specific
Yuumi
champion, but they left the Yuumi open for them to pick it up.
Yeah. Yumi's really strong. Honestly, if you are lacking on damage, the Yuumi is enough for you to just make it easier for yourselves. Just a lot of champions that they haven't picked just yet. Yone, as I said, Yone and Lucian is a possibility for Peekachu in order for them to get that early game. But then, we have seen Den get super strong with the Kha'Zix whenever a Yone gets picked.
Yeah, especially on the hands of Gia. Yumi's going to be something that you need to be fearful for. Peekachu is going to lock in onto Garen and Nautilus. Very tanky champion, so expectedly the next 3 picks would be something that can deal damage in this draft.
Then, they can't pick the Kha'Zix just yet. If this is the
open.
first 2 picks, yeah, as you said, Lucian is open. Yone could be picked because that's good enough, honestly. But they picked the Kaisa. They're that confident. They don't need to take any of this priority picks if they're gonna be expected to actually win it. The Kaisa Yuumi is not bad in the bot lane.
Yeah, definitely. And Kaisa's, as a champion, will be able to close in space quite a bit with the Killer Instinct. So expect a lot of these hyper aggressive plays, especially knowing that City Dogs, one of the most aggressive teams in FSL. So this is going to be really exciting. Now Peekachu answers with the Ziggs. So they have the AP, they have the AD aspect. So I believe Ziggs could still be in mid lane or even in bot lane, as we've seen this go either way or another for Peekachu.
Yeah, if ever Minuet is gonna be bot lane here for Peekachu, it's good to actually just pick that off. Picking up the Yone, it still can go to the hands of Rogi. That's why they still ban the Kha'Zix. Lucian is a good ban because Peekachu could just pick that up and just mow down the mid lane. So they are respecting this picks coming in from Peekachu. And City Dogs, what I'm expecting for this last two picks, they need tons of CC because this is already enough damage. Yumi, Kai'Sa, Yone, triple threat of damage already from City Dogs.
They need something to frontline this team. Luna and Willump is open. There's a lot of open champions still for City Dogs to pick up. Camille is also open. They don't have a Baron laner. If Yone goes in jungle or goes in mid laner, they could pivot themselves to pick in on the Camille. So a lot of options still for City Dogs. This time around, I'm looking at one more damage dealer for Peekachu to lock in on the threat up against City Dogs.
Yeah, I'm kind of thinking in my brain, I'm kind of picking it up. Our Riven could be a good pick here for City Dogs too. Because if they're going to be needing something
Fiora.
that could pair up against the Fiora, our Riven is good. And also, if they want the Yone to go in lane, Riven is also good.
Yeah, and this is actually quite clever for Peekachu. They're doing like a huge mind games type of aspect. You know what, City Dogs can pick up
Pantheon.
something else. Actually, I was mistaken. Camille is banned away. Interestingly enough, but now this pivots himself into another pick. Pantheon is something new, but it has so much of presence throughout the map, which can support the team fights later on, especially as we go 3 minutes into the matchup. 5 minutes into the game, mid-game would also be exceptional for this specific champion.
Shen would be good right now. For this matchup, I think Shen is a good pick for them. But they're picking the Shen Zhao. They're going full bruisers on the hands of City Dogs. Yes, they don't have a tank, but if everybody's going to get close, it's not going to be a problem for them. So what are they going to do here? Morgana.
Well, this is so flexible of a draft that I don't know where these players would go. Kai'Sa and Yumi would definitely go bottom lane. But is this going to be a Morgana jungle? Morgana mid lane? Is this going to be a Pantheon top lane? Or is this going to go somewhere else? It's really quite a flexible pick so far for City Dogs. As for Peekachu, they lock in onto the Diana, so expected these Ziggs would go bot.
I'm kind of expecting this Morgana in the jungle. Morgana jungle has been nerfed. They still went for the Morgana jungle for City Dogs. They're taking a big risk here by giving it to Den. I was hoping for someone else to actually take this Morgana, but this is a big risk, but maybe it will work. Maybe it's all on their minds, and going full bruisers with the Black Shield, especially the Yone on the hands of Rogi, it's scary.
Yeah. We'll see. I'm really excited about this game. This is game 3 with Grand Finals. Potential last game. But could still go 3-1. Could still go 3-2. Could still be a reverse sweep. We do not know. But for now, this is the draft for both these teams. I think at this point in time, City Dog has to play it a bit late. They have Yumi, they have Kai'Sa. If they go late, these two duos would be unbeatable.
Yeah, but honestly, it's a better draft. Peekachu has the better draft, but what they're lacking is a bit of damage. The only problem is the Fiora doesn't really do a lot of damage in big team fights because you expect the Fiora to just get in the side lanes. So when it comes to this big team fights, they have a lot of CC. Yes, the Mega Inferno Bomb is also a threat there because there's not a lot of tank who can really tank the damage from the Mega Inferno Bomb. But I hope it would be enough. I hope it would be enough damage in order for them to wreck or at least destroy the members right there of City Dogs.
Yeah, especially how you mentioned about the lack of damage, because they went in for a Garant mid lane. And then you have a Diana jungle. And
Not a lot.
looking at the state, the only damage dealer that they will be able to get would be towards Ziggs. Fiora expectedly will go on the side lanes, constantly putting pressure. So that will be the aspect that I'm looking at. So really, really interesting point. But Garen is actually going top. Fiora is going mid lane.
He actually switched up. And Aya is the one who's playing the Nautilus. They switched up their players, and Claria is gonna be playing the Garen. So this is a bit of a change here from Peekachu. It's not what I expected to happen, but is this the best way to go about it?
It's a total shift.
Yeah, this might be a big risk that they're taking, and I hope this would be a risk that would be able to get them the win.
But you know what? You know what, Dash? As they say, go big or go home. Huge risk, huge return. Maybe this is the opportunity that Peekachu is looking at. Maybe switch things up. This is our hidden card. We put it out. We're at the last game. We're at the last breath. We had to do something about it. So maybe that is the pivot that Pikachu is looking forward into. They have a lot of these bruisers. Ziggs will be the queen of this draft, wherein they have to protect Ziggs to put out and dish out a lot of damage.
As long as they then don't get this to late game, it's not going to be a problem for Pikachu to end this fast.
For sure.
Problem is, this gets to late game. If this game takes long, this might be the end. Oh,
Dark Binding
would be able to
Forcing
hit, and now they're not going to be following it up with anything else.
Yeah, for sure. And that Dark Binding was perfect, was phenomenal to connect onto Fiora, but forcing out the Flash in the end was still a good trade for them.
Yeah. Started the fight. And Ken again is just going to be chilling in the bot lane, because this mid lane is probably where most of the action is going to be. And Dark Binding, if that was able to hit, could have been very scary for the Fiora in the mid lane.
Could have been the first blood for City Dogs. But so far, not bad. And Den is making the Morgana jungle work. OD
Flash
Flash.
has been used already. What? Interesting.
Yeah, it's not expected, because yes, they burned the flash of Fiora, but they used a flash of their own with Odie, and that's not really the best of trades, especially considering that it's a different matchup overall on top side. It's Claria who still has flash, who has the Demolition Justice, so Odie has to be respectful of this, because one silence, one whirlwind, and then the Demolition Justice could pretty much pick off Odie.
Yeah, if this is a Fiora versus Pantheon matchup would be easier, but because it's the other way around, if it's fighting against a Garen, it would be a really hard fight to fight against. Rogi needs to be careful around here, doesn't have any vision. One good dredge line could potentially end the life of Rogi in the mid lane, even with the Fate sealed. Still has the flash. They need the death charge in order for them to get the win there.
Oh, for sure. And right now, there's a lot of pressure that City Dogs is providing for the team. With the prowling and also a lot of these pokes from Kaisa. Really important stuff. And right now, Morgana once again going into the mid lane.
Grand Challenge has been used. They have the riposte, but it's not enough for them to take the win. Even not using the Fate Sealed, it was enough to get the first blood.
Yeah, and first blood would be quite beneficial for them. Would be a lot of gold for City Dogs. If you're looking at the gold standing, it's already a 2k gold lead for City Dogs in 4 minutes. And that's huge.
Yeah. That says a lot about how they play around this lanes, right? Because Aya needs to roam around. That's why the gold is not equal. It's because Aya's been roaming around a lot. And that injects a lot of gold to Ken and Gia in the bot lane, which makes it easier to say that this laners know how to play their cards right. Even with the Yuumi, they're not being over aggressive. They're just forcing Minuit out of the way every time, because Aya is just giving that punishment to their own team because they're not getting any kills.
For sure. And the thing is, Den, if you're looking at a gold standing, has 300 gold lead against the Diana. In the bottom lane, you also have a lot of lead from Kaisa to a Ziggs matchup. So overall, this just states how pressure and how aggressive City Dogs is doing up against Peekachu, that they don't have any breathing room to be able to make space and to be able to make plays.
Yeah, no vision on the Rift Herald for the side of Peekachu. And most of the members are already rotating onto the top side. This is just great. Mid lane onto their side, and this is just interesting to see. Having Yone in the bot lane, Rogi needs to farm a lot. That's why they're just injecting a lot of gold to this Yone and not keeping tabs on whatever they might do. They just want to trade these objectives right now.
I like this. City Dogs is prioritizing the Infernal Drake, Pikachu going in for the Rift Herald. Because City Dogs know, when it comes to the early game, you have so much CCs when it comes to the ultimates of Pikachu that they cannot go for an all-in. And now they are able to get the Infernal Drake, which just further emphasizes the strength of their late game.
Rift Herald on the top side, gonna get used. They do have the Ignite already. The Demolition Justice is up for Claria. They can just dive OD right here. The Demolition Justice was cancelled, and that is big. But the Moonfall is there to get another kill for Pikachu, and a tower together with it.
Yeah, and I was expecting the Starfall to go through, because OD doesn't have any tools to be able to go back out. And I think she should have left the top lane and gave the turret to Peekachu. But in the end, she was killed, so that was a kill towards Peekachu, and they were able to get the tower first. Well, not tower first blood, but rather getting a turret in topside, which gives them a lot of gold.
Ultimate Grand Starfall has been used by Odie.
Flash.
They still had the flash use. They're gonna be going for the stun, no Moonfall whatsoever, but the Dark Binding was perfect to stop them from getting close, and now they're gonna be taking down members. 2 have been killed, and City Dogs walks away with some gold.
Yeah, and that was so good from Odie, and yes, the flash occurred. She was supposedly targeting Claria, but the thing was, she pivoted towards Diana. And then, after the stun, the Electrocute procced. And Diana was gone after that, especially because she went in for the Luden's Echo first item, wherein typically, traditionally, you want Diana to build Roa for more sustainability in the front lines. And that is the reason why City Dog was just able to get those trades in, and those kills immediately coming in at the start of the fight.
Yeah, Pikachu having a hard time here. Because they lost that kill, 4k gold lead already. Make that 3k, sorry. And City Dogs just knows how to play around this composition. Because most of the ultimates of Pikachu, they need to hit. If they won't be able to hit, that's loss of value from this burst champions that they have. They don't have a lot of DPS, which is the reason why it's easier to make mistakes with City Dogs composition.
Right now, Den is on a streak of kills and assists. 0-2 already.
Oh! That's bad! They were able to get it, but the Black Shield's there. Moonfall is going to come in, won't be able to hit onto Ken, and now the next target's going to be the Diana. They have the damage, they're going to be dashing it, but Diana's also going to fall! Double kill for Diana.
What did I just watch? That was an outplay from Diana, very exceptional. Just sidestep and missing all those skill shots from City Dogs, and in the end, it was a 2 kills going through for Diana, and that is really, really huge. Now, building up into a Rabadon stat cap, 1 Moonfall can change a team fight towards Pikachu's favor.
Yeah. Pikachu now with the 3k gold lead. Still not ballooning as expected, but Infinity, this is good. This is a good start for them. Remember, they have a Kaisa. A Kaisa and a Yone, after they get the second item, it's gonna be good. And this is going to be the next one, the next objective. This is where we see how they pivot themselves to having that better advantage when it comes to items. Because the second item, after Yone backs away, Rogi would have that second item. And that is when you need to be afraid of that Yone.
The Blade of the Ruined King, expectedly. Be that item. I don't know what can happen here. It is already a 4k gold lead for City Dogs at this point in time. Rift Herald is going to be up in 25 seconds, but in the bottom lane, got a kill.
Tower in the bot lane is going to fall down. Big kill right
mid.
there. Fate sealed onto the mid lane. They got Claria. They don't have enough damage to actually get the kill on her. Den actually survived. She thought that the Dimash Injustice would be able to hit her, but this tower in the mid lane is just going to fall down. What is going to be the trade? The second tier turret in the bot lane is going to be taken down, but Fiora respecting the members of City Dogs.
Yeah, and that's a great trade overall. You're talking about a mid lane turret for a bot lane turret. And yes, Pikachu got a kill, but in the end, it was a lot of map control being secured by City Dogs with just that turret in the mid lane. And overall, I think it's a good value.
Yeah, and also, they have 3 towers down anyway. So City Dogs got the bigger advantage there. And this is going to be a big challenge for this next objective. Because remember, when you lose the mid lane turret, you don't have a lot of vision in the mid lane turret now. You need to put a lot of wards in order for you to see what the other team is doing. And now, what they're doing is the Rift Herald.
For sure. And something for new players out there, getting the mid lane turret loses you a lot of security.
Grand Skyfall used. Odie, Jonas goes through very fast. They have the dredge line. They are just putting them down on the damage in Daya. She's going to be backing away with the Gargoyle Enchant. They can restart for a fight here, but they have a lot of low HP members. Aya, no Death Charge, no Mega Inferno Bomb. The Dark Binding would be able to hit, not hitting the Dredge line. Now they target OD. Is that going to be a good target though? Because the killing spree has happened already. They're moving forward. They want to get the kill. They're not getting anything except for the face seal in the face. And that's the kill that they wanted. And City Dogs got the double kill. They're chasing for the next, and that's Minowith also dead. City Dogs got the dragon. They got 4K, and they might be able to get more. They're chasing down the field. Riposte is there. And that's an ace for City Dogs.
What a play from City Dogs. The patience, the coordination, and the sync play was phenomenal. And right now, they're on the precipice of success. with the Rift Herald pushing on the inhib turret, it opens up the Nexus.
They were all over the place during the fight. City Dogs, they just stayed together, targeted one per one, and waited for the right timings. And they just are very patient as a team, and that's what I like about this. Dredgeline won't be able to hit because the Dark Lightning is there. The damage coming in from Rogi is just massive. And that Soul Unbound is enough to get the kill. There you go. Diana onto the back line, has some shields. And that is going to be the kill. Their shutdown comes in, but there's a trade. Look at this back line. Can fight 1v1 with Fiora, but the Dark Lightning is going to stop her from doing something more. And that's the kill. Massive kill. Massive shields. And this Minuet is going to fall, but the killer is following it up with the double kill ace again for City Dogs.
They can end! They can look to end! They can look for the Nexus! Nautilus is down, and he will come back in 5 seconds, but the remaining of the team is gone for a couple of seconds.
This is going to be enough. They can finish the game. They want to stun out Aya, but they're taking a long time. That's going to be the hold, and Aya's going to fall down, and this is going to be the game. Infinity, this Nexus, 3-4-0. City Dogs wins the Grand Finals, and again wins the FSL Wild Rift Open.
What a showing of this team. They have won last year's Open 3, 4, and 5, and they won the first Open this year. This is their 4th win streak as a team, and this is a feat that only City Dogs can achieve.
Time and time again, their drafts are immaculate. They know how to play around it. They play around these champions they're comfortable with the Yone, and even picking up the Kaisa at this point, not even prioritizing the Ziggs. It was great. And as we said, they won't have any damage on the other side. Peekachu prioritized a lot of CC. That's why they won't be able to finish a lot of dismembers from City Dogs. Yes, we've seen some light. We've seen some power from the Diana, but that was not enough flair to win against a team like City Dogs.
Yeah, and it's crazy to think about how dense, constant dark binding connects against the enemy team. Rogi's capability to go to the front lines and defend for her team. Ken's just free hitting on the back end. And Gia, no longer human, 6th championship title in FSL, was just able to get those clutch heals to be able to sustain her team and live a bit longer on those team
Great
fights.
story. Great story to see, honestly, for City Dogs not losing any game for this series, and even all of it 3-4-0, 2-4-0 during the whole upper bracket run. And that just says a lot about this team. That just says a lot about the other teams that need to challenge them for the next Wild Rift Open, because this team is strong. They need to put something forward in order for them to win more against them. They need to get away from their comfort, because this team does go away from their comfort every time, and they drop towards what's gonna win them. And that is how you build an immaculate, a strong, efficient team like City Dogs.
Yeah, and I think it's fair to say that City Dogs is the best female team of all time that has touched Wild Rift.
Best FSL team from Wild Rift that we've seen, and they're strong. This is just a strong showing, and I love that. I love seeing City Dogs again winning. Also, a lot of experience from these teams, because most of them, as I said, during the first series, or rather the first game, most of them have experience when it comes to competitive in League of Legends PC. They were the former Liab esports team, and that's why they have experience. Their mental is strong. They have great mental fortitude. That's why during the time, game 2, we thought that they might lose, but they got a comeback.
Yeah, and you know what? Doubts are there, but time and time again, City Dogs shows us that our doubts are wrong, that our doubts should be gone. We should trust. And you know what? They have shown power in League of Legends Wild Rift here in FSL. What an amazing series. What an amazing 2 days that we have seen and experienced here at FSL.
Yeah, it was a great day. It was a great 2 days. Yeah, as you said, yesterday from the lower brackets, and again now, lower bracket finals and the grand finals. Great showing from all of the players, but they need to step up during the next Wild Rift Open if they want to win, or if they want to dethrone the queens of the FSL Wild Rift. Right now, we're just going to be signing off. Again, thank you very much for having us here. We have been your casters for today. My name was Dash, and I was here with Infinity. See you guys in the next Wild Rift Open.